Good morning, everybody. It is Wednesday, October 22nd. We are expecting a more active severe weather pattern across the U.S. with a more active jet stream. We also have much cooler temperatures in the Ohio Valley areas and lake effect rain, as we do have a low pressure system just above Ohio in Lake Erie, and we have that lake effect rain going down. We usually have this in winter where we have lake effect snow, but it is not cold enough for that snow, so we are getting rain instead. We're also looking at a more active jet stream pattern with more jet streams digging down into the U.S., bringing colder temperatures and more severe weather. We are also looking at a possible catastrophic major hurricane over the next week or so, as we do have Tropical Storm Melissa currently that most models are picking up on possibly becoming a high-end Category 4 hurricane, or even a Category 5 hurricane, which could bring major impacts to areas such as Jamaica, Cuba, Dominican Republic, Haiti, Turks and Caicos Island, and possibly even the Bahamas if it takes a more westward path. It could even cause some outer bands in Florida if it takes that more western path that some models and ensembles are showing. Let's break down what you guys can expect over the next coming days. Here is the day 1 SPC outlook. As you guys can see, we have a very low risk for severe weather. We don't even have a risk for severe weather today. We just have a general thunderstorm risk in areas in Texas, Florida, northeast, as we do have that lake effect rain, and in the west, where we do have some general thunderstorms possible. No severe weather expected today. But tomorrow, we do have a marginal risk for severe weather. This includes New Mexico, southern Colorado, Texas, and Oklahoma. We do not have a tornado risk tomorrow, or at least it is a less than 2% tornado risk. We have a 5% daily wind risk in Oklahoma, Texas, New Mexico, and Colorado. And we have two 5% hail risks, one in Texas and Oklahoma, and one in northern New Mexico and southern Colorado. We also have a D3 risk zone. This is it for Texas and Oklahoma as the main risk, and a 5% probabilistic outlook for them. We do not have a day 4 or day 5 outlook as of now, but I am expecting some severe weather to impact the Ohio Valley and Midwest and central U.S. areas with that more active jet stream digging into the U.S. Let me break down what we can expect for severe weather the next couple of days. Here is what the GFS model is showing for our jet stream. You can see we do have that low pressure system up here just north of Ohio in Lake Erie in Michigan area, where, like I said at the beginning of this video, where we are seeing those colder temperatures and also that lake effect rain, which we usually would be getting lake effect snow at this time, but because the temperatures are not cold enough yet, we are not getting snow, we are getting lake effect rain instead. We also have tropical moisture down here in the Pacific. This is going to go into areas such as Texas, Colorado, New Mexico, and Oklahoma areas. If we speed ahead on this GFS model run, you can see those that tropical moisture in that low go into Texas, which will be causing our severe weather threat the next 2 days. So on Thursday and Friday, that will be causing our severe weather. And then you can see we do have another trough dig down into the U.S., which will bring likely some more core temperatures into the Ohio Valley. Then we have multiple lows coming in and sitting up here in the Ohio Valley area, which will be bringing more possible lake effect rain. And then you can see we have that very strong trough. This is on November 2nd. We have a very strong trough dig down into the central U.S. and a very strong low pressure system just west of Ohio and inside of Illinois and Indiana area. So like I said, we are watching the severe weather threat very closely the next few weeks. You can see a very strong trough on the GFS model. This is a very strong trough. This will bring much colder temperatures and also possible severe weather and lake effect rain. But we are watching the severe weather very closely, also because we are in fall severe weather season now, which usually brings more severe weather into the Ohio Valley and Dixie Alley areas. So we're watching that very closely over the next few weeks. Let's get into the tropics updates though. This is Tropical Storm Melissa, soon to be Hurricane Melissa. You can see Jamaica already has tropical storm warnings. We also have hurricane watches for areas in Haiti and Dominican Republic. We are definitely watching the tropics very closely. This is Tropical Storm Melissa, like I said. This is what the current track for the NHC has. It only goes out 5 days, but most models are showing up possibly going anywhere between here and Cuba. It could turn out to sea and impact Cuba. This is the H-Worth hurricane model for Melissa. You can see it is picking up on a 947 millibar low pressure system and a very strong hurricane over here, making landfall in areas such as possibly Haiti, Dominican Republic, or Cuba. Can't tell exactly as the hurricane models do zoom in on where this hurricane is, but it definitely would be a major hurricane making impact to these islands. This is the HMON model with a 932 millibars. So even this would be impacting Jamaica on the 27th, possibly is what this model is picking up on. So these are major hurricanes that these hurricane models are picking up on, and most ensemble members are also picking up on this. I'll show you one other hurricane model. This is the worst one I've seen. This is the HAFS A for Melissa. It has a 902 millibar hurricane. This would be a major historic Cat 5 hurricane, an insanely strong hurricane as that. Because it has a very favorable environment for rapid intensification. This is on October 27th. This is in 5 days, guys. These models are picking up on a Category 5 hurricane in the Caribbean in 5 days, possibly making impacts to these smaller countries and islands like Haiti, Dominican Republic, Jamaica, Cuba, the Bahamas, or the Turks and Caicos Islands. Now I'm going to show you guys what the ensembles are showing. Okay, guys, this is our ensemble members. This is the GFS ensembles. This is for Melissa. You can see this is by the 24th. Melissa hasn't moved much by then. Some models are starting to show her take a curve, but most models are showing her stay pretty close to where she is right now, and then they start to curve out to sea by the 27th to the 29th. You can see all these reds and pinks. That is a high-end Category 4 to Category 5 hurricane, possibly. So that's why I said we are watching very closely for this possible major hurricane. You start to see some other lows try to develop off the coast of Africa, but they instantly die out just because we're going into a sinking MBO phase. So it's going to be very hard for anything to develop. It's making it less favorable with more dry air. This is basically our last shot for possible hurricane. The GFS ensemble members do have it getting pretty close to Florida, which is why I said it is possible we get some outer bands in Florida. We are watching them closely. I show you guys the Euro ensembles now. Here is the Euro ensemble members. You can see, kind of agrees with GFS. Some of them do go towards, it's about 50-50 if it curves out to sea or goes towards Mexico, at least for the Euro. But it's showing these lows getting very close to US. We're going to ignore this random outlier over here that shows it making landfall on the East Coast, I just don't think it's going to happen at all. That's very unlikely. But most of these are showing a curve out to sea, or possibly getting very close to Mexico. Maybe causing some impacts to Mexico even on the Euro ensemble members. But you can see these red and pinks again. That is major hurricane status. I can also show you guys the Google ensemble members real quick. This is the Google DeepMind ensemble members. You can see, just if you go ahead a little bit, you can see, look at all those pink lines and red line. That is major Cat 4, high-end Cat 5, possibly, hurricane being picked up by these Google and most ensemble members. Some of them actually show it getting pretty close to the East Coast or towards Florida, which they may get some outer bands from this, but that is really strong signal for possible major Cat 4, Cat 5 hurricane. So we are watching this very closely. This could cause a major impact to these smaller countries and islands south of the U.S. in the Caribbean, such as Dominican Republic, Haiti, Cuba, Jamaica, the Bahamas, Turks and Caicos. We're watching this very, very closely for them. If you are in this area, I definitely would be prepared and aware, as this could be a major hurricane. This could cause major flooding and major impact to these smaller countries and islands. That is all for today's video. Thank you all for watching, and make sure you guys like and subscribe for more weather forecasts.